This is too good. All right, so what do we have here? Yeah, what do we have here? Will Soul Crusher Leverett, okay. I understand this guy's in community. Senior Director of Player Relations. Okay. Cool. All right. So, an update on UEC exploits and account suspensions. Hi everyone. We've completed an investigation into multiple exploits with Star Citizen that compromised stability and negatively impacted the in-game economy. As a result, we have resolved multiple UEC exploits in 323.1a. Good. My complaint on all my reacts was that these fixes were not going into the .1a patch. They moved the Hornet. Looks like they've moved the Economy 1 into it too. Huge dub. I made a video about this, guys. I made a video about this. About how I didn't like exactly that. So good. So happy with that. As a result, we have resolved, and we've identified and suspended over 600 accounts involved in exploitative behaviors while also removing the illicitly gained UEC from Star Citizen's ecosystem. Yo! Hell yeah, standing on business. There we go. The problem is that you could, from my understanding, I never do trading, but people tell me you could have accidentally duped. So hopefully they didn't clip some friendlies, but we'll see. Cheating and exploiting undermine the integrity of our game and the efforts of our dedicated backers who help us build Star Citizen. We take these actions seriously and assure you that we are continuously developing additional measures against cheating and exploitation. We will continue to prioritize triaging exploits with the highest urgency to isolate and address these issues as they pop up. At this stage of development, exploits and issues like these are likely to arise, which is one of the benefits of open development and working closely with our community. Identifying, testing, and reporting exploits is acceptable and encouraged. We've gained valuable insights through your issue council reports, and we thank you for that. However, once an exploit is identified and confirmed, continued abuse for personal gain will not be tolerated and will result in action on our part. Nice. Once again, we're super appreciative of your efforts in flagging recent issues and your general support in utilizing the issue council. We'll keep you updated as soon as we continue to develop measures to ensure fair play. Thank you and see you in the verse. Very well done. Okay. We love that. Yeah. That's so good. That's so good. Yeah, the SC Cloud Imperium Games IRS caught up with these guys. Man, love to see it. Yeah, love to see it. Two things though. Yeah, one, when this bug was discovered and we knew how bad it was, trading should have been disabled. Yeah, like trading should have been disabled right then and there. Yeah, and instead they let it run for so long. Yeah, a 3-day suspension I'm okay with, to be honest, Hannah, because I mean, unless there's like people that had gotten up to the billions, like, and maybe they were selling it and stuff like that, but 3 days for me is okay, because this like sends a message, hey, this is now breaking the rules. Yeah, so now all the people that go into my damn YouTube comments and go, it's too early, that needed to happen. This now tells people the economy is striving to be a live economy, not an alpha economy where people don't care. Where the people in my comments say, oh, this guy's a bozo because he doesn't realize it's an alpha at year 12. Those guys, no, stop it, shenanigans. You're better than that. No, now they're holding it accountable. Now they're trying to have some integrity with the economy, which is a great first step. But again, I wanted to see the trading disabled. I did, yeah? Like, until they got a fix. And if it means they had to rush the fix out the door sooner, then do it. But the problem is this patch, this cycle, this wipe is already completely compromised. What do we have coming up? We have Xeno Threat, which is a great money earner. 2, we have Jumptown, which is a great money earner. Guess what? No one needs money because probably 1 trillion UEC has been put into the economy already. And no one needs the desire for it, right? So what's the point in going to Jumptown if you don't need the money, right? Like, and it's not compelling enough to go. So, like, when the economy gets exploited like this, yeah, it is, Lee. I'm so happy about this. When the economy gets exploited like this, it affects everyone, yeah? It affects piracy. It affects the Ghost Hollow mission. The Ghost Hollow mission immediately becomes irrelevant for the entire patch. And because the Ghost Hollow mission doesn't scale to the economy. So at the beginning of a wipe, it's great. And then it falls off like after 2 weeks to a month. So compromised economy means immediately Ghost Hollow's just out the window. Piracy is really poor because people don't have to travel the route. You know, and that impacts the law system, which means a lot of players aren't flying with crime stat because they're not engaging in piracy, which means the bounty hunter players are starving who are trying to uphold the law. Like, it just has massive ripple effects. And that's like what I try to explain in all my videos, right? Is that when the economy is in a good shape and everyone doesn't have millions and millions, right? And there's actual risk to the game, then people play the PU. They spread out. They go to the hotspots. They contest each other. Bounty hunters have bounties. Pirates have prey. You know, all so on and so on and so on. People get in. But people don't, like, you guys got to understand this. People don't play the game when the economy is saturated by an exploit. Like, they don't care. No one bothers to log in. They go, oh, guess we're waiting for the next wipe. Yeah, Cupcake. So it's frustrating, right? And that's why I would have preferred them to disable trading. But a win is a massive win. We love this, yeah? Let's go through the comments. Yeah, Nightbird's right. The patch is ruined, yeah? Like, the economy has ruined a lot of the patch for players that are in there for the multiplayer experience. Cutlet says the exploit was publicly known, reported on PT before the patch even went live. It's been around 2 months before this was fixed. Yeah, Cutlet's right, man. Like, it needs immediate action. And even if it just means disabling trade, like, do so. Protect the economy so that we can see how this game is going to get played. It's so important. I can't stress it. Like, I think it's extremely important to the health of the game. You have, what, like, how many more wipes do we have before this goes live and they stop wiping? They're talking about a 1.0 release, right? If 1.0 is coming, how many more wipes do we have before they're done? What, maybe 5? 6? That's 5 or, like, it could be more, right? But if it's 5 or 6, that's 5 or 6 chances to get it right. You know, like, to make it a great journey from the beginning to the middle to the end. Yeah. Like, they have to figure out what are the money sinks? What are the prices? Where's risk versus reward? What does ships look like when in comparison to US dollars? Like, how does our economy fit a storefront on the website? How do we integrate those two? A lot of work needs to be put into this economy, and the time is ticking. Running out of time. So, man, I think they need to, this is a good step in the direction because it's going to force integrity and start taking the economy seriously. But I think we need to start taking it far more seriously, far more sooner. Yeah. But that's just awesome. Just awesome. Most likely because the game is in an alpha state to give them another chance. Maybe they learned their lesson. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy it's just 600 players, about 4 million accounts in total, 10k active players, and also these offenses that weigh far more than heavy. Yeah, like, and it's good too because it also sets a message about, like, what do we want from the game. They are moving this more and more towards a live service. Do you want a good example is? A good example is Sirius. What's up, brother? A good example is the and I've been kicking and screaming about this, is when people were knocking the wings off the Santoki Eye. Anyone run into a Santoki Eye in PvP where they knocked off the wings? Anyone run into that? That was like the dirtiest exploit I've seen in a long time, which was like you could have turned your Santoki into this juiced, insanely high accelerations snub fighter with 4 size 3s. Like you turned your arguably very well balanced, maybe needed a little buff Santoki into this like god snub fighter that was just insane to PvP against. It was so fast it would teleport. Like, and people were trying to justify it. They're like, oh, it's just, you know, it's an alpha. Nah, man, it was ruining the playing experience for so many people. It was so unhinged. So, like, now, from this post, we can take from it that if you weaponize exploits, yeah, weaponize exploits where you are going through a step-by-step process to do that exploit, yeah, I'm not just saying, oh, this ship is bugged, that's the exploit. I'm saying if you are doing a step-by-step process to do an exploit, you're in the firing line. Now we know you can get in trouble, and it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. I'm happy with this, yeah. I'm really happy with this. It's way too late. It's way too late, but it's a step in the right direction. Very cool. Happy to see this. Hopefully they start taking the economy increasingly more serious. And good job to Will Soulcrusher Leverett and the team. Nice. We like that. We like that. That's a big win. Any other comments? Crazy, because it's so crazy. I swear, like, if Bergs wasn't screaming from the high heavens about this, a lot of people weren't feeling this way about it. A lot of people are like, oh, it's an alpha, it doesn't matter, you know, and all this stuff. But man, the feedback here is very positive, which is actually surprising. Good stuff. Good stuff. We're happy about that. Wow, look, everyone's happy with this. Dude, maybe it ain't just me and the couple guys that go into my YouTube comments and give me shit for wanting an economy. Maybe most of the community wants integrity with the economy. Not a single negative reaction? Yeah, which is surprising because whenever I talk economy on my YouTube reacts, people roast me. A small amount of people do. But yeah, wow. Very cool. Very happy. If you cheat the economy, you're going to get increasingly suspended. Yeah, it'll be 3 days the first time. The second time it'll be 7 days. The next time it'll be a month. The next time 6 to a year. And then it's out the door. So good. It felt a lot like the only people that were ever running into the player relations team when it comes to punishment were like the griefers and the PvPers when they were PvPing the wrong way. But now it's also the traders. That's interesting. For the same reason, nobody got banned for over 1 year when the Hornet Ghost was broken as fuck. Yeah, Amiro, I don't think that qualifies. I don't think that qualifies because the Hornet Ghost just had faster strafes. Like, I would not want anyone banned or suspended for the F7A Hornet Mark II. Even though it had the bad strafes, I wouldn't want anyone suspended. Because it's like, all they did was pick a ship that they bought, right? Like, people spent money, they bought this ship, they started playing it. There was no step-by-step process in which they did the exploit. It wasn't like this lengthy process where you could be, oh yeah, you have bad intentions. You know, it was more like they're just flying their ship. So I think it comes down to how much effort goes into creating the exploit and then how damaging is that exploit to the rest of the game. You mean the Hornet Tracker? Yeah, still, like, I don't think when it just comes down to picking a ship, I don't think that should be punishable. I don't think that should be punishable. And it also depends on, like, how drastic is the exploit. Like, if the Hornet had 50 Gs instead of 20 Gs or something, I'd be like, yeah, that's ridiculous. It was frustrating, and trust me, you guys know I am no fan of the F7A. It's been driving me crazy. 35 Gs or Hornet Tracker, that's clear enough intention. No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Just because, like, all they did was pick a ship. All they did was either own a ship. Maybe if you rented a ship in AC and you were taunting people with it, yeah. But if you owned the ship, then you owned the ship. Yeah, so it's like, but for me, it's about like the length. It's about the length of effort that you went through to do the exploit, and that's what for me it is, right? It's like you can't just be like, because how do you then differentiate people who are just flying the ship who don't even know about the bug? Many people didn't even know about that their Hornets were bugged. Like in the first 2 weeks of that exploit, I'd say 80% of the community did not know about that bug. So that's the problem, right? And then, and I think now, but you can't go into this dupe, right, investigation and say that not everyone knew about the dupe that was duping. You know, like, so that's what it is for me. It's if there's a step-by-step process to doing whatever said exploit, and that exploit is damaging enough to the rest of the player experience, then that should qualify. But if there's not a step-by-step process and it can be accidentally done easily, I think it sits in CIG's court for sure. So a good example, right? Like, let's use a combat example for your turtle. I think that picking the ships, the Hornets, that they bought, they just did a quest line for, and flying with them should not be punishable. Same with the Hornet Tracker. The Hornet Tracker, a little more dirtier. You're right, people are buying them, renting them, but it's just picking a ship that has a strong strafe, right? But compare that to the other exploit that was here 6 months ago that players were using, which is where you would hop into a Santoki, you'd slam the side of your ship into the hangar, you'd slam the other side, and now your ship has been turned into a tiny little snub fighter with 4 times the original speed, and it has way too many guns. Then flying around the PU with it, yeah? And I'm not going to mention what organization did it, but you guys can guess who did, right? Despite us constantly asking them not to do that exploit and PvP against us with it, they refused, yeah? So those guys are real dorks. People who go through those lengths to exploit something, massive dorks. Massive dorks. Just try to play the game in the spirit of the game. And I think you can still say that if you were picking the Hornet, flying the F7A and stuff, you could have been still qualifying as trying to play in the spirit of the game. But some of these exploits like this ain't. Shari, do you remember the days of 3.4 when you could mount extra guns on the ship? Yeah, exactly, Gentari. I absolutely do. And that, for me, should qualify for 3 days. Absolutely, Gentari. Because that was a step-by-step process to cheat the game. Yeah, Turtle, what should have happened is those ships shouldn't have been claimable, yeah? Like, if they have to fix the bug, disable the ship. Yeah, make it so they can't be called on pads or something like that. But I do think they need to try to add more integrity to the game, the live experience of the game. I know it's some alpha, guys, but we all play it on Twitch still, right? And it still gets sent IGN marketing trailers, right? Like, it still gets marketed as a live service and used as an excuse for it being an alpha whenever it disappoints. But my point being, right, I think that they need to treat these bugs with some more urgency if they're very damaging, yeah? Don't just wait for the fix. See if there's a band-aid where you can try to protect the integrity of the game. So to loop back on this thread, right? I think trading should have been disabled, yeah? Or maybe, like, I don't know the exploit. I never did it, right? But some sort of mechanic inside of there could have been disabled to stop this. And I think it should have been, because you've wasted 6 months of gathering economy data. And they can say that, oh, it's easy to look at the data around the economy. It ain't easy to look at the player activity around the economy. And the player activity is going to suck now. It's going to suck for a long time. And we're all counting the days until the next wipe. Like, type a 1 in the chat. Type a 1 in the chat if you want a wipe. If you want another wipe. Type a 1 in the chat. And this is what's crazy to me. How long ago did we have our last wipe? How long ago did we have our last wipe? It's been what, like a month or two? An actual wipe, yep. Vehicle wipe too, yeah. It's like, it's not been long enough, you know? Like, we gotta get, yeah, we're gonna need a lot of wipes, I agree. Yeah, how long ago was just the UEEC wipe? Does anyone know? But yeah, it needs a full wipe. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It does. I got full wiped myself, to be honest. They full wiped me, despite. But it's okay. I'm not too. Poop joke. Yep. 5 weeks or so. So it's 5 weeks into the economy. And the economy was already compromised and on a downward spiral within a couple days of the patch. Within 2 weeks, it had nosedive all the way down. And then by 5 weeks, it's plummeted into the earth and it's a smoking ruin and we need to start from scratch again. Right? Like, it's... How do we take the economy seriously? And here's my problem, right? Here's my problem, guys. Because there's an argument, yeah? There's an argument that CIG don't actually care about the economy. Why? Because they're happy to keep shoving us down these sales of ships, yeah? Ship sales. Xenothreat comes out, it's Alien Week, and you should buy these ships for Xenothreat, yeah? Like, people think that there could possibly be an agenda where they just stall and don't actually care about the economy because they're happy to keep us in this loop of the game's getting developed and you should keep buying ships, yeah? But the problem is in my eyes, to legitimize the game, you have to be putting a serious amount of effort into the economy to show us what a future of a game that isn't purely just selling NFTs looks like. So that's the question, right? Is like, are they going to start ramping up integrity with the economy and development on it? And are they going to do it soon enough? Because we already need another one. We already need another one. And I don't want people that are like going out and grinding money for their ships. I don't want those guys punished, but I want like piracy back. I want trade routes back. I want the law system to get used. Bad players who do the criminal elements of the game that are going in, investigating risk for reward. I want those guys to inevitably also end up in prison or maybe not in prison. Like, I want to see activity and you don't see enough of it. You don't see enough of it. No visa, appreciate it, brother. So there you go, yeah? Regardless, you got to give them credit where credit's due. Step in the right direction, but we need to see more urgency on these issues when it compromises the game as much as it does. And we want to see more integrity and development on the economy, which in my opinion is the most important aspect of this game, because otherwise it's just a spaceship storefront, guys. At the end of the day, it's just going to be a spaceship storefront unless they get this economy done. Yeah. And it feels like they've barely started. It feels like they've barely started. But we're happy with it. We're happy with it. Upvote this guy. 07s to Will. Well done, brother.